Hey guys, welcome to another comic talk. Today, it's a real quick video. This one's about the stuff I'm selling. Check this one out. Originally bought by me when this movie came out in 1982. This is, I want to say, a 9.8, maybe if you count that little edge there. If you see that little tiny edge there, that's about it. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book. Story behind this is that Stephen King was a big fan of the EC comics. As a matter of fact, I read his autobiography, and it was called Dance the Macabre, and if you can ever pick it up, it's fantastic. And I used to like Stephen King a lot before he kind of, in my opinion, lost his way, making a lot of different books. I think he also wrote under the pen name Richard Bachman, but at the beginning, when he wrote The Stand, and he wrote, which was his very first book, by the way, and one of his greatest, and he wrote Carrie, Pet Cemetery, another phenomenal book. Anyway, all the series of those books, The Dead Zone, another great book. He got inspired by two things. Stories of H.P. Lovecraft, which he found in the attic of his parents' home. I think it was his parents or his grandparents, because he's from, I believe, New Hampshire, somewhere in the Northeast, but above Michigan, above Boston and Massachusetts. He's from the, I think, Vermont, New Hampshire area. As a matter of fact, Castle Rock, which is one of the production companies that's out there, I think somehow is affiliated with him, because I remember a lot of stories take place in Castle Rock. So if you look at the way he writes his stories, a lot of them are from his original hometown. But anyway, he read a lot of horror comic books, which he found and he fell in love with, and he read them over and over and over. So a lot of his inspiration came from there. So when he became famous in the early 80s, he made a decision that he was going to do homage to exactly that, the EC line of comic books. And here's the Crypt Keeper. And by the way, that's Stephen King in the back. But the funny thing is that the way he does the stories, they're introduced by the Crypt Keeper, and then, you see, the introduction by the Crypt Keeper, and then the story starts. And if you've ever read, and I'm trying to be extremely careful with this, because this has already been sold, and by the way, if the buyer is listening, nothing's happened to it, it's in perfect shape. But when the EC magazines or comic books would start, they would normally start with one of the hosts, which they created. They had in Vault of Horror, they had 3 elements. It was the Crypt Keeper, and you know what? I have EC comics here, but I don't want to take the time to take them out. But there's like 3 different, I think the Vault, the Old Witch. There's like 3 different characters that are repeated among all the different horror lines. And Creepshow was a homage to that. It was a movie, and then the book came out after the movie, and I think the book was the inspiration for every story in the movie. I read it when it first came out. I used to have about 3 or 4 of these because I love Stephen King, and I thought this was a great book. This is my last one. I'm selling it only because I've decided to tone down my collection. I found that I'm close to I only have about 2,000 books, because they are one collection, and almost none of them are duplicates. So I've started with getting rid of the duplicates first, and then also some of the books that are not either early Silver Age or Golden Age or Atomic Age, because that's what I'm really focusing on. So that's one. Another thing I sold, which I think is gorgeous, is an original production art piece by John Romita Jr. And I am going to take this out so that you can see how this works. It is multi-layered. So you have one layer, which is the text, and that's followed by another layer, which is the artwork. And I have to say that even though I don't know him, this is from Mighty Thor number 5, page 1. According to this, and that's a later version. That's not the original Thor, but I think it's from the 80s, maybe even early 90s. I'm not 100% sure at this point. But I just. So, sorry about that. Technical difficulty. Got corrected. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I've had this for some time now. I'm only, I do collect original art. So the only ones that I am selling are my production art pieces. And the reason is, again, I'm trying to reduce. You can see I have some other production art there, which is eventually going to be put up for sale. I got rid of this one only because I honestly, even though it's gorgeous, it's Thor. I'm not a big Thor guy, but I bought it specifically because I thought the colors and the textures and everything about this piece of art was beautiful. So again, going with the reduction and of my clutter, this is one of the ones I'm letting go, and I think whoever bought it is going to be extremely happy with it. It's beautiful for framing. So anyway, guys, that's it for right now. I'll be back soon, and I think the next show I'm going to do is going to be focusing on EC again. I did an EC show a long time ago. It's got a lot of views on it. My channel's not very big at all. You know by looking, right? I've got like 66, 67 subscribers. I think the biggest show I've had has been the EC show, which is up in the 150, I think, or 160 area, something of that nature in views. So I'm going to do another one because I think then I didn't go into as many ECs as I have, and I think they're just absolutely beautiful. The artwork's fantastic. So anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Remember to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and keep listening to Comic Talk. I'll be back.